Yes, Bhante.
Have questions?
Yes, we have some questions from last time. The first question that we had last time was how to deal with difficult family situations and instances when metta may not come naturally. So when you have difficulties with family members and the situation is difficult within the family and you have a hard time feeling that metta inside your heart, how do you deal with this?
Family situation is difficult to practice metta.
Yes, when you feel like you don't feel metta, you're annoyed with the people and you don't have any metta in your heart. What do you do?
I think in the family situation is actually the beginning of metta. Because mother has all the 4 Brahmaviharas in her. For instance, she knows when a baby is embryo, when she knows that she is pregnant, she does not know what kind of baby she would deliver, male or female, and in good health or bad health, in good mental activities, unhealthy mind and so forth. She doesn't know any of these things, but she protects that baby, embryo, and with metta, without knowing. Of course, these days there are various ways of knowing what kind of baby she has in her womb. But without any such test, especially in rural areas and so on, somebody don't care for the test. They just want to have a baby. And not knowing what kind of baby she is going to deliver, she practices metta for the baby. When the baby is delivered, mother has enormous amount of compassion for the baby. For instance, when she wants to make sure that the baby is comfortable, so she some mothers, if they have baby monitors in their homes, while they are working somewhere in the kitchen or so forth, they want to hear the baby. If the baby cries, mother goes there very quickly, because mother doesn't want the baby to suffer. Doesn't have compassion. And when the baby is doing well in school, in sports, with friends, mother appreciates it and have joy. That's called appreciative joy. When baby is not doing well at school, with friends, and so forth and so on. But mother has, at that time, without any problem, she would have equanimity. With equanimous state of mind, she would look on the baby, take care of the baby. So she has all these 4 Brahmaviharas in her. And then that is the beginning of metta practice in the family. And she tried to increase these things, multiply these things, develop these things in everyday life. So even if there are some disagreement, problems and so forth, she would arouse this Brahmaviharas in her mind. So it is easy for her to start the metta practice. And then other family members also should cooperate with her to make the family harmonious and peaceful. And therefore, I think it is easier for the family members to practice metta. And also they must learn to control their temper, anger. And if there is rivalry between the siblings, the parents must interfere and treat all of them equally and show their love, compassion, joy, and equanimity, depending on various situations. So that won't be difficult for them to practice. It's very easy. The only thing is they just have to be mindful, especially mindfulness and metta go together. And therefore they have to be mindful and to take care of the situation, problems, difficulties in the family. That's what I think. That's what I think we should encourage people to do.
Thank you, Bhante.
Okay?
The next question is, Bhante, please tell us how to decide on the ending point of meditation each time when we do it on our own. For example, when you're not here to ring the bell, how should the person know at what point they should end their meditation?
Okay. That depends on you. When you meditate, you know how much time you can spend in meditation. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and so on and so forth. These days, if you cannot time yourself, then you can use a cell phone and time it. Use phone to ring the bell, something like that. Then you can end the meditation when you hear the bell. Otherwise, sometimes you have time to meditate for 1 hour. You keep meditating, and then once or twice or 3, 4 times you got up after 1 hour, then that will become a habit. In the mind, it's like an internal clock. So at that time, you will automatically get up from your meditation. So that's what we do when we decide to sit for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 hour. Then you train your mind to get up at that time. Then it becomes a habit. So that may not be very difficult. Okay?
Thank you, Bhante. The next question is, this morning you spoke of subatomic particles. How do you use this information in the practice of Buddhism? So you mentioned subatomic particles in the morning. How to use this in our practice of Dhamma?
Yes, actually, when we meditate, as the mind is getting calmer and calmer, more and more peaceful, then you gain concentration. In the concentration mind, in that state, you experience very tiny little changes. Everything you experience, you feel changing, like sparks. So for instance, when you breathe, paying total attention to the breath, then you notice the breath is not one single cylindrical object, but it is made up of air waves. And then you know this air is made up of various tiny little minute particles, which is invisible but tangible. You feel it. And that is what I like to like people to understand and see that happening within themselves. And then the other advantage of that is that when you notice these changes, you don't try to hold on to anything because you cannot hold on to anything. Since they are so quickly changing, your effort to hold on to is just futile, meaningless effort. That way, you understand impermanence very clearly. As I repeatedly mentioned in many times in my talks, and Buddha, I simply quote the Buddha. Buddha said, "Samahitam chittang yatha bhutam pajanati." Concentrated mind sees things as they really are. What are the things? Things are body, feeling, perception, thought, and consciousness. What it means to be as they are, as they are. As they are means they are constantly changing, rising and falling, rising and falling. And I also mentioned sometimes ago, ahutva sambhoti utva pativeti. Something that was not there will arise, and that what is arisen passes away. So that is our bodily particles arise in our mind, and we see them passing away. Our feeling arises, and then that feeling passes away. Our perception arises, that perception passes away. Our thought arises, and then those thoughts pass away. Our consciousness arises, and that consciousness passes away, disappears. So this happens. Sometimes we experience eye consciousness, ear consciousness, nose consciousness, so forth. They arise and pass away very quickly. But if we don't pay attention, we can get carried away with thought, perception, feelings, and so forth. And that is why we must train the mind to be mindful and gain concentration. When these two combine together, mindfulness and concentration, everything that we experience, we use as a part of our practice and use them to understand the very nature of this body feeling and so forth. So you experience particles, waves, just like, what can I say? It's like when you press your eye sometimes, you can see stars. Just like that. Sometimes when you have some eye problem, you can see floaters. When you go to eye doctor, he asks you, do you have floaters? Floaters do not exist all the time, but at certain times they exist. Similar, when you close your eyes, similar objects appears very, very fast and disappear. And that way, we know impermanence of everything. I think that's how I can explain it. And if you try to practice meditation, I mean, if you meditate in the correct way, without letting the mind wander here and there, without falling asleep and so forth, you can experience this. And then only you know you can know the particles. Same particles in physics and so forth is something different that I don't know. But this is what we experience when we practice.
There's a follow-up, a second part to this question. It has to do with the four kalapas. And the second part was, are the four kalapas used as an exercise only for sharpening our sensitivity to sensations? So what is the connection with the kalapas?
I think kalapas is the term used in Abhidhamma to illustrate this. And therefore, I think that word is more technical than experiential. What I'm talking about, something deeper than kalapas. So kalapas are more crude, but the particles that we experience in meditation is much subtler and deeper, very, very subtle. Okay?
Thank you. The next question is it helpful to use beads to help focus during meditation? So using like a mala with beads, is it something that is helpful to focus the mind?
Yeah, when you use beads like mala, you keep repeating certain things like Buddha or the entire passage, like Itipiso Bhagavarang and so forth. You recite the whole thing once and then count one beat. And then again you repeat the same thing and count one beat. That is a kind of controlling the mind from wandering here and there. I have seen people doing it when they observe the precepts, 8 precepts on full moon days, new moon days, and so forth. And also I have seen people going on the bus and in meetings and so forth. They keep counting. That way they can control the distracting mind. That alone is not enough. That may help them to keep the mind on one object. But in meditation, meditation is more advanced practice without any external object. All external objects, all counting, all malas and beats and all these things should be set aside when you try to practice meditation, mindfulness. For instance, when you do walking meditation, you have to pay total attention to the movement you make in walking meditation. You are breathing, you are lifting foot, and so on and so forth. Pay total attention. If you have something like mala, then you will be distracted. You will be distracted from the main practice. However, even the breath, if we notice inhaling, exhaling, that function itself helps at the beginning. But afterward, that would become a disturbance. That would become an obstacle to gaining concentration. And therefore, after that, we must slowly let the breath go and let it. I mentioned, meditation, you take deep inhaling, deep exhaling, and after that, you don't notice the breath. You notice only the changes taking place in your feeling and so on. And therefore, we use certain techniques, certain objects to begin with the practice. Once we already uh, are in practice, all these agents, supports, we let go and then stay with our own feeling, perception, and so forth. Just like the breath, they also rise and fall, rise and fall. If we stay only on the breath, you can see even in Anapanasati Sutta, last tetrad, last part, Aniccanupasya Sami Sikati, Aniccanupasi Pasi Sami Sikati. Viraganupasya Sami Sikati, Viraganupasi Pasi Samiti. Nirodhanupasya Sami Sikati, Nirodhanupasi Pasi Sami Sikati. Patini Sagganupasya Sami Sikati, Patini Sagganupasi. That means you see impermanence, you breathe in. Seeing impermanence, you breathe out. Seeing non-clinging, viraga, non-clinging, no greed in the mind. Noticing that you breathe in and breathe in. Nirodhana, cessation, every moment ceases. Every moment ceases. Noticing that you breathe in and out. Then patinisaga, abandoning whatever comes to your mind, you abandon it. While abandoning them, you breathe in and breathe out. So, in that training, we don't use any object to stay throughout our practice. Okay.
We have a couple questions from the library. The first one is, do arahants have to meditate? And if so, why? So do arahants still have to meditate? And why or why not?
Yes. Arahants meditate because they want to be in blissful state of mind. Other times when they don't meditate formally, they are they would be talking, they would be advising, they would be doing various other things, all to help people and so forth. Even the Buddha, you remember, Buddha in many times went for his personal retreats. For instance, he gave instructions on the meditation on impurities of the body and went for 2 weeks retreat, went alone. Because when he was with people, always with monks, nuns, laymen, laywomen, they are coming, going, asking questions and so forth and so on. He gets tired, physically tired. Even Buddha's nervous system gets tired. In order to get rid of this fatigue, he goes to meditation. And moreover, when you work very, very hard to earn a lot of wealth, after earning wealth, you must use it. You don't throw it away. Use it for your living, for sharing, and so forth. So you practice meditation to attain liberation. After attaining liberation, you continue your practice, not as a trainer, not trainer or learner, but you practice it in order to have the full benefit, the results for your own calm and peaceful state without nervous tension. And that is why they meditate. Not that they have any defilements, but they, in order to get rid of their nervous tension, it happens very naturally. So they have to meditate to get rid of that tension.
Thank you, Bhante. The second question from the library is, how does a person who is naturally generous and practices generosity to a high level, how do they protect themselves from people who may be overusing them? So a person that is very generous and practices generosity to a high level, how does such a person protect themselves from being overused by some people, their generosity being overused?
Sometimes you understand, physically you may talk about generosity with regard to physical things like food, lodging, money, property, and these are things. These are the things that one may use to express their generosity. And so you know how much you can share, how much you have to use, and so forth. So the person who is generous continue to do their generous practice as much as he can. When he comes to the limit, then he has to tell others, this is the limit, beyond that I cannot go. So he must be able to say no when it is absolutely necessary to say no. And when you go overboard, you hurt yourself, then you have to struggle to earn your living, doing some jobs and additional part-time jobs and so forth. So in order to avoid this kind of additional burden, the person must, with compassion, with joy, metta and so forth, he say, I'm sorry, this is all I can do. Beyond that, I cannot do, with regard to the material things. On the other hand, generosity is not limited to material, giving material things. Generosity is the thought of renunciation, thought of letting go. That is the second steps of the Noble Eightfold Path. Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa. Samma Sankappa means right thought. Right thought are three kinds: thought of generosity, thought of loving friendliness, thought of compassion. It's called Nekkhamma Sankappa, Avyapada Sankappa, Avihinsa Sankappa. Thought of letting go is much deeper than the than being generous with regard to material things. And therefore, one must learn to let go of inner clinging, craving, attachment. That is the highest level of generosity. That level of generosity one can practice in order to liberate oneself from suffering. I mentioned this in the other day's talk among the 4 states. So that's what I suggest again to people. I said Tathagata is called Tathagata because he knew the world, the origin of the world, end of the world, and the path leading to the end of the world. The world here means suffering. Origin of the world is cause of suffering. The end of the world is end of the cause of suffering. Path leading to the end of end of the world is noble eightfold path. Origin of the world is craving, desire. So real generosity is there. Let go of our desire for anything, particularly for 5 aggregates. That is more difficult, and yet that is the most powerful, effective way of getting rid of our desire. So, okay.
Thank you, Bhante. The next question is, knowing that the aggregates cease at death and that insight and morality that have been cultivated do not end, can you explain how the person is reborn with some of these kusala karmas?
Akusala karma.
With kusala karmas. So the person is saying the aggregate cease at death, but previously we have learned that insight and morality that have been cultivated do not end. So how is the person reborn with some of these kusala karmas?
With akusala karma or kusala karma?
Kusala karma.
Kusala karma.
Yes.
Yes, of course. Kusala karma also. Kusala karma we commit with ignorance. That sounds very silly, very confusing. All karmas, wholesome or unwholesome, karmas are committed due to ignorance. That is what dependent origination says. Avidya pacha sankhara. Sankhara means wholesome sankhara, unwholesome sankhara, both. Now, wholesome sankhara, kusala karma, when we commit like generosity, meditation, metta practice and so forth, we commit with the intention of some reward. Like in this life, somebody becomes very, very generous, but at the same time, in his deep down in his subconscious mind, he has a desire to be born in a healthy, happier, powerful, wealthy, famous family and become strong, famous, popular, and so on. Because what he experienced in this life is not enough. So the person wants to have better life, divine life, and so on. So there is a desire. Also, there is a discourse in Madhyamika, Sankhara Upapatti Sutta. Sankhara Upapatti Sutta means that says that if you have Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya, and so forth, with these things, you commit wholesome karma, kusala karma. And you intend to be born in a wealthy family, then you will be born in the family. If you wish to be born in a divine life, you will be born in divine life. But you have to have this primary qualification. In addition to generosity, you also have to have Saddha, Vidya, Samadhi, Panya, these 5 faculties. So somebody has all these things and practice generosity and this also wholesome things. And then we will be reborn. Now, as the Buddha said, Buddha said, Buddha said, because this death, human excrement, even if it is as small as a mustard seed, is stinky, not sweet smelling. Similarly, even being born, even to be born in even one life, I do not appreciate. I do not praise, because even in one life you still have suffering. So normally people who have not attained even the stream entry, the minimum, of course after attaining stream entry you still have desire to be born at least 7 times. It happens. Until you reach the anagami level, you have a desire to be born. Bhavatanna. Bhavatanna. Bhavatanna means the desire to be born in samsara. You do wholesome things, but at the same time there is a desire to be born in a better place. Therefore, you have ignorance. That is how even the wholesome deeds, kusala karma, causes you to be born again. That's how we do that. Now, I think, friends, your questions are good questions, and we can go on answering questions for a long time. But I had to stop here because we also spend some time in meditation. So let me close the answering question session and we meditate. Okay? Okay. May all beings be happy and secure. May all beings have happy minds. Whatever living beings there may be, without exception, weak or strong, long, large, medium, short, subtle or gross,
Yeah.
visible or invisible, living
That's what
near,
I heard.
or
Yeah,
born or coming to birth, may all beings have happy minds. Let no one deceive another, nor despise anyone anywhere, neither from anger nor ill will should anyone wish harm to another. As a mother would risk her own life to protect her only child, even so towards all living beings, one should cultivate a boundless heart. One should cultivate for all the world a heart of boundless living friendliness, above, below, and all around, unobstructed, without hatred or resentment, whether standing, walking, sitting, lying down, or whenever awake. One should develop this mindfulness. This is called divinely dwelling here, not falling into erroneous views, but virtuous and endowed with vision. Removing desire for sensual pleasures, one comes never again to birth in the womb. Okay, friends, with this metta thoughts, let us meditate till I ring the little bell. We have about 25 minutes to meditate. As I mentioned yesterday, even after I rang the bell, if you want to continue meditation, you just ignore the bell and continue meditation. But since we have other commitments after this, I have to stop at 11 o'clock. Okay? Also, as I mentioned yesterday, Sit in a comfortable posture. If you sit on a chair, put your feet down, don't cross your legs, and keep your body straight, upright, and keep your hands on your lap. And then breathe slowly and deeply until your lungs are full, and breathe out slowly and deeply until all the air in your lungs is gone. If you do this again and again, in a very short time, you gain concentration. Your mind becomes calm, relaxed, and peaceful. When you gain certain degree of concentration, you experience the first physical vibration. Along with that, you experience deep and the deepest and the subtlest changes taking place in your body, feelings, perceptions, thoughts, and consciousness. Thought may appear and very quickly disappear. Feeling appears, quickly disappears. Perception appears, quickly disappears. And the consciousness appears, quickly disappears. You are conscious with mindfulness, conscious with mindfulness. And therefore it is easy for you to be aware of consciousness arising and passing away. Always mindfulness flows continuously. That's a very wonderful experience. So you stay with that. Okay? By means of this meritorious deed, may I never join with the foolish. May I join always with the wise until the time I attain Bhavana. May the suffering be free from suffering. May the fear struck be free from fear. May the grieving be free from grief. So too may all beings be, from the highest realm of existence to the lowest. May all beings arisen in these realms, with form and without form, with perception and without perception, be released from all suffering and attain to perfect peace. Excellent, excellent, excellent. So, friends, this is the end of today's session, and we want to share our metta with all living beings. May all those who are in hospitals suffering from various sicknesses taken care of by very compassionate doctors, nurses, and hospital staff, may they recover very soon and return to their normal life and continue their meditation and Dhamma practice and attain liberation from samsaric suffering. May all the doctors, nurses, and hospital staffs who help these people to get better, recover, may they all have peace, happiness, and find time to practice meditation and liberate themselves from suffering. And may all those who lost their loved ones, may they be free from grief and find the time to practice meditation and understand the true nature of life. And finally, may they also be free from samsaric suffering. May all those who are in various trouble spots, war zones, discriminations, poverty-stricken, and made all their lives difficult by various other sources. If they are there, may they, however, find time to practice meditation, understand the nature of life, nature of living, and may they find time to practice meditation and attain liberation from samsaric suffering through the practice. May all others whose categories I have not mentioned, all those who are living in 10 direction, north, northeast, east, southeast, south, southwest, northwest, up and down, all these 10 directions, there are all kind of beings, incalculable number of beings are there. May they all have peace, happiness, and may they find time to understand Dhamma, practice meditation, and liberate themselves from suffering. Friends, we make this wish knowing that by this wish, their suffering will not come to an end. They have their own karmas, their own personality, characters, behavior, conditioning, habits, education, and so on and so forth. On all kind of variables are there, but only those who practice metta will be definitely benefited from the practice. And therefore, may we all practice it for our benefit, and at the same time, we wish the benefit and peace and happiness of all living beings. That's all we can do. Okay, friends, this is the end of the session. May you all be well happy and peaceful.
Thank you, Bhante.
Sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu.
Everyone
Thank you, Bhante. Thank you. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you,
Sadhu.
Bhante.
Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante. Everyone, Dharanai.
Everyone